Alright, so hi guys, I'm Matt and I'm going to be talking about the standards of professional practice on full-time supervision services, otherwise known as the SPP document 204A. So first of all, according to the introduction that the book says, for at least for the past 50 years, there are four principal members that are involved in the designing and the construction of a building. First of all, there's the owner, then there's the architect, the contractor, and of course the group that is in charge of actually putting together the entire building. So, yeah. So the scope of services of the architect on full-time supervision services is the following: the quality control, the evaluation of construction work, the preparation of daily inspection reports, and the filing of documents. Um, According to the matter of providing services, there are two ways by which an architect may be able to enter into a contract with the owner. First of all is if the architect is working in a dual capacity, architect of record and as consulting architect for full-time supervision services, or as a CSG or a construction supervision group. Another one is by working as a consulting architect for a full-time supervision services only, or as the CSG. Now moving on, um, of course, no architect would do this kind of work without any kind of compensation. So there are six ways on how an architect taking on this kind of job will be paid. First of all, there's the percentage of project construction cost, or the PCC. Um, this is the architect's fee for the full-time supervision based on the percentage of the construction cost. Another one is the multiple direct personnel expenses. This cost-based method is only applicable to non-creative work such as accounting, secretarial, research, data gathering, preparation of reports, and the like. So there's gonna be, they have a really intricate formula for this kind of compensation, but we're not gonna go into detail with that anymore. Um, the third one is the professional fee plus expenses. So of course it's the professional fee plus the um, it establishes a fixed sum over and above the reimbursement for the architect's technical time and overhead expenses. So there's going to be an agreement on the general scope of the work, which is actually necessary for the architect and the owner to be able to set an equitable fee. The fourth one is the lump sum or fixed fee. Um, this method can be applied for government projects since they entail more paperwork and time-consuming efforts. The fifth one is the per diem, the honorarium plus reimbursable expenses. So it says here that there are some cases where an architect may have to do some of his work during his personal time, such as attending a project-related meetings, conducting ocular inspection for the project sites, and conferring with others regarding prospective investments or ventures. So for these particular activities, the architect may be paid on a per diem and honorarium basis, plus the out-of-pocket expenses such as travel, accommodations, and subsistence. And the last one is the mixed methods of compensation, which the SPP provides for more than one method of compensation on a project. Each project should be examined to determine the most appropriate method of compensation. And The next one will be brought to you by BAHAM Tolentino.
So I will be reporting about SPP document 204A, which talks about full-time supervision. And I was assigned to do numbers 5 to 7. 3 things you need to know about SPP document 204A. First is limitation of authority. Second is legal responsibility. And the last one would be qualifications. So let me start first with the limitation of authority. At 5.1, Construction Supervision Group, or the CSG, this document talks about mainly the CSG, and CSG should not assume full responsibility, the contractor superintendent, which means that you should not give the full responsibility to the kind of manager of the contractor and on just them alone. And then for 5.2, still on number 5, CSG shall not make decisions that are solely responsibility of the AOR or the architect of records. So you should not just take a view on the AOR, also on the other places or positions that you have, like the EORs and whatnots, contractors. And for number 6 is legal responsibility. For CSG, the CSG's relation to the owners should only be in administrative matters, while on technical matters you have to consult the AOR or the architect of records. For 6.2 states that Article 1723 of the present Civil Code, the CSG and owner may stipulate certain professional responsibilities and civil liabilities of the CSG, which means they can record all of it in this document or something. And then for 6.3, AORs and EORs and contractors can be sued by the owner, and on the other hand they can also have cross claims with them. For number 7 would be qualifications. Talks about the inspectors of CSG would have to require them to have a degree in Bachelor of Architecture and an extensive experience in design and building construction, building materials, and construction detailing. That's all.
So here's what you need to know about SPP document 204B. So first, the introduction. Due to the increasing complexity of a project, there is a need of construction manager for effective implementation and cost-efficient construction. So the construction manager could either be a member of the staff of the owner, an independent individual, or a firm hired by the owner to manage the construction of a particular project. It can also be the architect that can serve as the construction manager. Second is the functions and description of tasks. The responsibilities of the construction manager includes the function of construction supervision. First, coordination and supervision. Second, cost and time control. Third, quality control of work and keeping of records. The construction manager can hire a CSG to be under his employment. Third, limitation of authority. The architect, as the construction manager, shall not involve himself directly with the contractor and then impose methods, system, or design that will extremely affect the construction schedule.
204B Construction Management. Part 4 tackles about the legal responsibility. In 4.1, it talks about how the construction manager usually reports directly to the owner. So therefore, he is responsible in all aspects and relay of the programming, coordination, quality, control of work, and cost control. However, it says in 4.2 that he has no legal responsibility if or should the equipment fail to function as per design, or should the portion of the building collapse. It is the architect with his design engineers and contractor who are responsible by law in this for their design and construction, respectively. Part 5 are the qualifications of the construction manager. The construction manager may be a firm, but it will also be an individual. It says in 5.2 that those people that would handle the construction must be therefore professionals, preferably an architect or an engineer who are long experienced in this kind of field of construction and has managerial talent and capabilities. 5.3. Those who were contractors or has experience in construction are usually capable of the transition of making it from a contractor to construction managers. Part 6. The construction manager contract. The construction manager contract are professional service contracts, which is normally negotiated between the contractor and the owner. It says here that it has a basis fixed rate of 1.5% to 3% of the estimated cost of construction will be the total compensation for the project. The contract serves as a mean for reimbursement for the actual cost of certain designated services.
This part is about the standards of professional practice on post-construction services, or the SPP Document 205. Basically, it says here that the building administration and the management goes beyond maintenance and the upkeep functions, and how the communication between the professionals, the architects, the engineers, or the people who has something to do with the project must be kept open in order to provide access to information regarding the performance of the project. It also says here that the architect may be engaged as the project administrator and or the project manager to maximize the lifespan of the buildings to produce maximum economic returns. The scope of services of this document include building maintenance, the ground and landscaping supervision, the building equipment maintenance, the business development and management, and of course the post-construction evaluation. This means that the architect has a lot of responsibilities regarding the project. For building maintenance, the architect shall see to it that all parts of the building are in good condition and that they have to enforce rules for the proper use of the facilities, and they also have to monitor the security services and the maintenance of the building. For the grounds and landscaping supervision, it is the architect's job to supervise landscape contractors and gardeners and guide them for the proper watering and maintenance of the landscape. And they also have to maintain orderly entrances, exits in the streets, like the road right-of-way, the walkways, and the ramps. For the building equipment maintenance, it is also the architect's job to assist the third parties and seeing to it that all their equipments, like their air conditioning systems, transformers, sprinkler systems, the generators, the telecommunication systems, are all in good working condition. For business development and management, the architect should innovate schemes to attain building maximum capacity. For the business development and management, the architects should innovate schemes to attain maximum building capacity, and it also says in this document that the architect should build the tenants of the rentals and utilities, but I think that's already part of the owner's job. However, we can also help them have an idea on how much they can get from in exchange of the services that they offer. The last scope of services in this document is the post-construction evaluation. It says that the architect should evaluate the initial design program and compare it to the actual use of the facilities. They should be able to determine the effectiveness of the materials and the various systems used in the project. They should assist the third parties in evaluating the performance of the building. And of course, they should also give solutions to discovered malfunctions of their project. This document also indicates that the architects may enter into contract with the owners in two possible ways. First is that they can work as the architect of record and consulting architect for post-construction services, or they can work as consulting architects for post-construction services only. It also says here that the architects get paid either by percentage of gross rentals, maintenance and security fees, or by monthly fees. Basically, SPP Document 205 talks about all the duties of an architect even after their project has been built. It means that they are responsible for how it performs and how it is supposed to be utilized by the stakeholders.